Peace, brothers and sisters in humanity. Hope you're doing well. Today, this video is going to rip your eyeballs out of your eye sockets. What I mean by that is that I will show you what the traditional mainstream Islamic religion is actually serving or worshipping. And also I will show you what ruqyah actually is. You know, ruqyah, when they try to take a jinn out of somebody by reciting a lot of things, yeah? I'm going to show you that. I've done some digging and I will play a clip of a video, and in that video the man who is talking will somewhat disclose that the Allah the traditional Muslims are worshipping is not the Allah of the Qur'an. That is entirely something different. The Vision and the Voice is a book by Aleister Crowley. It chronicles the mystical journey of the author as he explored the 30 Enochian aethers originally developed by John Dee and Edward Kelly in the 16th century. The Vision and the Voice is the source of many of the central spiritual doctrines of Thelema, especially in the visions of Babylon and her consort Chaos, the All-Father, as well as an account of how an individual might cross the abyss, thereby assuming the title of Master of the Temple and taking a place in the city of the pyramids under the Night of Pan. Now you'd be wondering that why am I showing you this book about Aleister Crowley? Well, let's watch this. I found something and it gave me a clue about ruqyah. So then I did some digging on that and I'll be showing you that further as well. So let's watch this.
The general takeaway of finding Islamic connections with the Vision and the Voice is it seems to be that in these Crowleyan and Thelemic scriptures, there seems to be oozing an Islamic presence and an Islamic aura within the field of Thelemic practices. What we can do with this is we can further synchronize Islamic practices and Islamic ideals within the system and framework of Enochian or Thelema. One way we can do this is that in some rituals, it requires to use a water chalice. Now, in Islamic rituals, in Islamic white magic specifically, also known as Ruqya, you can pray over water using the first chapter of the Qur'an, Surah Fatiha, by reciting it 7 times over water. So you can realistically bless your water and bless your spiritual tools using Islamic invocations and incantations and practices and possibly have a very good result doing so. Another thing worth noting too is that Crowley seemed to have suggested that there were different ways of deciphering the codes in these books, and Islam seems to be a completely valid way of doing it. Near the end of the book of the Vision and the Voice, Crowley talks about how the 4 main archdemons, Satan, Lucifer, Belial, and Leviathan, all manifest as the world religion's gods, most importantly with Leviathan manifesting as Allah. Now people may think of this as him basically saying that world religion's gods are demonic, but really what he's saying is that these 4 avenues, Satan being Jesus, Lucifer being Brahma, Leviathan being Allah, and Belial being Buddha, are all these different decodes and all these different deciphers that one can use to better understand the Vision and the Voice, and even further Thelemic scriptures hopefully in the future.
So brothers and sisters, you all heard the man. Basically, according to their Enochian Kabbalistic teachings, they are given descriptions of different deities in different formats. And obviously, when he said Allah, now astaghfirullah for me to saying that Allah is Leviathan, that means that the Sunnis and the Shias and the traditional Muslims that believe in these rituals and these incantations and repetitions, they are maybe worshipping Leviathan in the guise of Allah. Astaghfirullah, like basically this is what comes to my mind. It's my opinion, my understanding. I'm not like, saying that 100% this is what it is, but this is how I see. It's an opinion, alright? Now, let me show you the root, ra, qaf, ya, in the dictionary. So let's explore the root ra, qaf, ya. Raqa, raqi, to use magic or incantations on someone, against something, like a charm on someone. So the first meaning we get out of this root is magic. Ruqya is nothing from the Qur'an. Allah does not tell us to do these recitations and doing these ceremonial healings for individual patients. Like, that's just BS. Let me show you what else I found. Raqin, magician, sorcerer. Ruqya becomes a faith healer. Splendid, yeah? Ruqya, spell, charm, magic, incantation and exorcism. Marqan, magician, sorcerer. It's quite evident that this is not part of the Quran, not part of Al-Islam, not part of Millat Ibrahim. It's part of some Kabbalistic system. So in mainstream Islam, Ruqya means incantation, spell or spiritual healing, right? And the root means to ascend, elevate. So metaphorically, they want to elevate harm. The practice is reciting Quran verses, divine names, or special formulas for protection against jinn, evil eye, sickness. Also, let me tell you, there's no evil eye in the Quran as well. That's also some Kabbalistic BS, basically. In folk use, sometimes mixed with numerology, written amulets, grids, or symbols. Gematria, Jewish mystical system where letters are equals to numbers and hidden meanings are derived by adding of values of words. For example, Hebrew word chai means life equals to 18. Number 18 becomes sacred in the Jewish tradition. So it's used in Kabbalah, numerological interpretations of the Torah. Now, overlap. Both treat letters, words and recitations as carriers of hidden power. Both are often done by specialists, rabbi, kabbalist, imam, healer, raqi, and both are relying on the belief that divine language has intrinsic force beyond its surface meaning. Well, it might have some force, but you are not supposed to do any of this. The Quran does not talk about this. In folk ruqya, some healers even assign numerical values to Quranic letters, like abjad system. Sufis do that a lot. They make it very close to gematria. So the conclusion is mainstream ruqya is equal to reciting Quran for healing, seen as allowed by many scholars, but esoterically ruqya is full of talismans, numerology, and it's the occult, very much like gematria, or even hermetic letter magic. So, brothers and sisters, before going into ruqya for some kind of a healing, you better watch this video and make sure you're not doing that, because that is not part of the Quran. That is not Al-Islam.